This conference will now be recorded.
The next topic is calcium channel blocking drugs. When we did the action potential graph in anti-anginal agents, we saw that there are three ions which are of prime importance when a muscle or especially a cardiac muscle has to show activity. It has to go contraction and relaxation, and those are sodium, potassium, and calcium. Now, in here we are exclusively studying calcium channel blocking drugs, or those drugs who would block the movement of calcium ions to and fro from the cell membrane. Okay, like there are calcium channel blocking agents, there are also sodium channel blocking agents, which also we will be studying in arrhythmic agents. Okay, so here we'll see what are these calcium channel blocking drugs. Now, these calcium channels are basically present everywhere, and here in this case we are concentrating only on those calcium channels which are present in the muscles of the cardiac tissues or cardiac muscles. And whenever this ion moves, that is the calcium ion, it goes in and out of the channel. There is excitation and there is contraction and relaxation of the muscles of the heart. In general, muscles everywhere in the body will undergo contraction and relaxation when there will be movement of the calcium ions. Okay, so what are these calcium channels? These calcium channels are nothing but they are voltage gated channels. Okay, so these voltage gated channels, they are of different types. They are of four types, in fact. The L type, the N type, the T type, and the P type. Okay. Then there are ligand gated channels, and there are only passages which allow the sodium and calcium exchange to happen. Okay. Now, in the case of your cardiac muscles, where there is interchange of or there is movement of calcium ions, this movement of calcium ions is helping the cardiac smooth muscles to undergo contraction and relaxation. That means closing and opening of your fist, for example. It is governed by the movement of these calcium ions. And these calcium ions, they move through the voltage gated channels. Like I told you, there are four different types of voltage gated channels: the L type, the N type, the T type, and the P type. Okay, so these are the four different types. In the cardiac muscles or in the cardiac smooth muscles, specifically the L type of voltage gated cardiac channel is present. Okay, so when there is movement of the calcium in the cardiac muscles, it is through these L type of voltage gated calcium channels. So these calcium channels or these calcium ion channels will assist in the movement of this calcium. Now, what will this calcium do? This calcium will go inside through the pores and it will come out through the pores. Now, when it goes inside, there will be you can say there will be systolic pressure which will be increasing. Okay, and then it will move out. So every time it goes in, there is contraction. It comes out, there is relaxation. So with this constant in and out of these calcium ions, the muscles are moving. These L type of channels I told you are present only in the cardiac muscles. They are further divided into five different subunits: alpha 1, alpha 2, beta, gamma, and delta. These are the five different types of L type of calcium channel channels which are present. Okay, so I repeat, we have calcium channels everywhere, all the muscles in the body. Okay, the work of these calcium channels is they are all voltage gated calcium channels. When the voltage increases, decreases, the channel door opens, the channel door closes. When the channel door opens, the calcium moves inside. When the channel door closes, it stays inside. Then again the channel door will open, the calcium will come outside. Okay, so this is the in and out movement of calcium ions. Now these channels, calcium channels, are of different types: the L type, the N type, the T type, and the P type. And amongst these, the cardiac smooth muscles have L type of channel present in it. Okay, so this L type of channel which is present in the cardiac smooth muscles, this is further divided into 5 different types: alpha 1, alpha 2, beta, gamma, and delta. Okay, so this is about the calcium channels. So take down. The calcium ion is responsible for regulation of the calcium ion is responsible for regulation of many cellular processes. Calcium ion is responsible for regulation of many cellular processes like excitation, excitation, contraction, and relaxation. And relaxation of smooth muscles. Of smooth muscles. When, next line, when the cardiac cells are stimulated, they reach their threshold. When the cardiac cells are stimulated, they reach their threshold and ion channels open allowing the entry of sodium ions, allowing the entry of sodium ions. Simultaneously, a second current is generated. Simultaneously, a second current is generated which initiates the slow movement of calcium inside the cell, which initiates the slow movement of calcium inside the cell. Okay, so calcium will not enter alone. Calcium will enter with sodium, or in fact it will enter after sodium. First the sodium ion channel gates will open when there is a current or when there is a threshold that is reached. And when this sodium enters, because of this there is another activation started, and because of this second activation the calcium ion channels open and the calcium enters the cell. Okay. Next line, the free calcium ions allows the interaction between the free calcium ion allows the interaction between actin and myosin. Actin and myosin, which causes the contraction of muscles. Which causes the contraction of muscles. Okay, which means if actin and myosin have to work, then calcium has to enter the channel. And once calcium enters the channel, the actin and myosin get into their task, and they cause excessive contraction of the heart muscles. Write down the elevated levels of calcium. The elevated levels of calcium are thus responsible for initiating contraction, are thus responsible for initiating contraction. Next line, right? Calcium channels are voltage gated ion channels. Calcium channels are voltage gated ion channels which are of different types. Which are of different types. Namely, the L type, the N type, capital L type, second capital N type, T type, and P type, Leave a line. The mechanism of cardiac muscle excitation, and contraction involves opening of L type of channels, leading to entry of calcium ions, This entry of calcium into the muscle or into the cell causes contraction of the heart muscles. Okay, So your heart muscles are having only the L type of voltage gated calcium ion channel. So your calcium channel antagonist should be acting only on these L type of calcium channels, because I told you there are different types. There is N type, there is T type, there is P type, and they are present in different places. For example, the N type is present in neurons. Okay, then the T type is present internally where the pacemaker cells are there, the AV node. It has this N type, but only the L type is present on the surface of the cardiac cells or on the surface of the cardiac muscles. So if there is entry of calcium ions, then it will be only through these cells or these channels which are present in the cardiac muscles. And this entry and exit is responsible for the contraction and relaxation. Now, what happens in the case of angina or arrhythmia, or why you require a calcium channel antagonist? Okay, now we spoke that day about tachycardia and we spoke about bradycardia. Bradycardia is when your heartbeat is very low, it goes below 40 per minute, and tachycardia is when your heartbeat is above 120 130 per minute. Okay, so this limit or this range of heartbeat is reached of 120 130 is reached especially when this movement of these calcium ions is excessive into the cell. Okay, so the action potential is generated repeatedly. It is being generated again and again. So instead of following a rhythm of close open, close open, this calcium ion channel or this voltage gated calcium ion channel stays open for a very long time. And because it stays open for a very long time, a lot of calcium ions start moving inside into the cardiac muscle cells. Now, when these calcium ions will move inside, as a tendency, that is how the chain works. Calcium ion inside, contraction, relaxation of the muscle, heart muscle will start. So, similarly, due to excessive amount of calcium coming inside, there is excessive contractility of the heart muscle and there is strain over the heart muscle, because of which you can have a heart attack or you can have a heart failure or a congestive heart failure. So if you don't want this to happen, if you want to control this, then you require a agent, a drug which will block this calcium channel. And which calcium channel? The L shaped or the L type calcium channel which is present in the cardiac tissues or in the cardiac muscles, because the remaining are not present over the surface. They are present deep interior. One is present at the Purkinje fibers, that is the P type. Then the T type is present with the pacemaker cells. The N type is present with neurons. So only the L type of channel is present in the cardiac muscles, and for blocking this L type of cardiac voltage gated cardiac channel, you require a drug like a calcium channel blocker, which will go and block the site of the channel from where the calcium is going inside. Okay, so it is like you are having a watchman being placed at the channel gate, and once this watchman is present at the channel gate, then what you see is that because of this presence of the watchman at the channel gate, the calcium will not enter inside. And if this calcium does not enter inside, then it will not have contraction and relaxation stimulation on the cardiac muscles. The cardiac muscles, on the other hand, will relax. They will release their energy. The actin myosin reaction will be controlled, and your relaxed heart muscles, which were in a tachycardial stage, will come back to a normal stage or a bradycardial stage, where they relax, there is no actin-myosin interaction, and the generation or regeneration of action potentials. Okay, so this is how your calcium channel blockers work. Okay, and the three most important classes of these calcium channel blockers are 1,4-dihydropyridines. The example is nifedipine. Then there are phenyl alkyl amines. Example is verapamil. And then there are benzothiazepines. The example is diltiazem. Okay, so these are the drugs who are able to efficiently block the L type of voltage gated calcium ion channel, so that calcium will not enter the cardiac muscle, cardiac cell, and there will be no actin myosin reaction, and we will be able to control the heartbeat or the heart rhythm, and bring it down from tachycardia to bring it down to a lower level. Okay. Now, these calcium channel blocking agents, they are not only used as anti-anginal agents or as anti-arrhythmic agents, you can also use them in the treatment of hypertension, because in hypertension, it is often seen that the muscle contractility has increased tremendously. So you can also use it as a anti-hypertensive agent. Okay. So take down. Calcium channel blockers. Calcium channel blockers are divided into three different chemical classes. Are divided into three different chemical classes. First one, phenyl alkyl amines. Phenyl alkyl amines. Example, verapamil. Phenyl alkyl amines. Example, verapamil. Second, 1,4-dihydropyridines. 1,4-dihydropyridines. Example, nifedipine. And last, benzothiazepines. Benzothiazepines. Example, diltiazem. Example, diltiazem. So take down the structure of all these three drugs: verapamil, nifedipine, and diltiazem. Take down the structure of all the three drugs: verapamil, nifedipine, and diltiazem. Once you're done taking down the structures, let me know. Okay, you're done then. I assume everybody's done. Okay. Take down mechanism of action. Mechanism of action. The mechanism of cardiac muscle excitation and contraction. The mechanism of cardiac muscle excitation and contraction involves the opening of L type of channel. Involves the opening of L type of channel allowing the entry of calcium ions. Allowing the entry of calcium ions. The calcium, next line, the calcium channel antagonists. The calcium channel antagonists act only on the calcium channel antagonists act only on L type of channel which is made up of 5 subunits, which is made up of 5 different subunits, namely alpha 1, alpha 2, beta, gamma and delta. Next line, the calcium channel antagonists are specific. The calcium channel antagonists are specific only to L type of channel. Are specific only to L type of channel to produce its pharmacological effect. To produce its pharmacological effect. Next line, the calcium channel blockers will reduce or prevent the action between actin and myosin which are responsible for causing contraction of cardiac muscles, which are responsible for causing contraction of cardiac muscles. They will decrease the calcium dependent automaticity. They will decrease calcium dependent automaticity and also regulate the pacemaker cells. And also regulate the pacemaker cells. Calcium channel blockers are used as, next line, calcium channel blockers are used as antiarrhythmic drugs, anti-anginal agents, and as antihypertensive agents. And as antihypertensive agents. Next point, they depress the cardiac neuronal network. They depress the cardiac neuronal network, prolong atrioventricular contraction, prolong atrioventricular contraction, and decrease myocardial contractility, and decreased myocardial contractility. We'll write few lines about the three drugs whose structures we have noted down. Okay. First drug, verapamil. First drug, verapamil. It is a synthetic compound which can be separated into optically active isomers, which can be separated into optically active isomers. Put a star in the margin. The levoisomer is more potent. The levoisomer is more potent. Next is diltiazem. Diltiazem increases myocardial oxygen supply, increases myocardial oxygen supply, increases myocardial oxygen supply, at the same time decreases the heart rate and the overload. At the same time decreases the heart rate and the overload by decreasing the demand for myocardial oxygen, by decreasing the demand for myocardial oxygen. Now this compound or this group 1,4-dihydropyridines, it has a few SAR points. So we will write the SAR of nifedipine or 1,4-dihydropyridines. Nifedipine. First, the dihydropyridine derivatives. The dihydropyridine derivatives bear no resemblance. The dihydropyridine derivatives bear no resemblance to other calcium antagonists. Bear no resemblance to other calcium channel antagonists. Next point, its nitrogen group or nitro group. Its nitro group is essential for anti-anginal activity. Next point, it has a partially saturated central pyridine ring. It has a partially saturated central pyridine ring. Next point, substitution of this ring at 2nd and 6th position. Substitution of the central pyridine ring at 2nd and 6th position plays an important role in duration of action. Plays an important role in duration of action. Next point, positions 3 and 5. Positions 3 and 5 have carboxylic groups which are necessary to protect the ester group. Substitution at position 4. Substitution at position 4. This is the last point. Substitution of position 4 should be aromatic. Should be an aromatic, comma, with an electron withdrawing substituent. With an electron withdrawing substituent to get better activity. To get better activity. Okay, so all these three drugs you can use in the treatment of angina or cardiac failure or congestive cardiac heart failure or angina. Okay, or what is called as myocardial infarction. You can use them in the treatment of hypertension also. Okay, so among these, only nifedipine or dihydropyridines has a detailed IUPAC, SAR. Okay, and the remaining two drugs I have given you the structures also, and we have written down some part about mechanism of action. I think diltiazem is left. Have we written diltiazem? Yes, we have written diltiazem. Okay, so with this we finish the calcium channel blocking agents. This is the most easiest topic, or the part of the topic which is most easy, and this is the calcium channel blockers. Okay, you first have to understand where the calcium channel is. What are the different types of calcium channels? Which different drugs can act over these calcium channels? Like I told you, here there is L type, and the drugs are specific to L type. They bind specifically to L type of the calcium channel. Then you should know what are the other remaining types, that is N, T and P, and where all are they located in the body. And what happens is when the calcium enters, the actin myosin is triggered, the action between them, there is excitation and there is contraction and relaxation of the heart muscles. Now this is a voltage gated ion channel, which means the action potential is important. So if the action potential is high for a prolonged period of time, the calcium channels will stay open for a longer period of time. There will be excessive entry into the calcium channels, because of which you will face arrhythmia, or you will face angina. So you will use a calcium channel blocking agents. We have seen three drugs: verapamil, nifedipine and diltiazem. We have seen in which cases verapamil and diltiazem is used, and we have seen the SAR of nifedipine and the uses also of nifedipine. Okay, so this is all about your calcium channel blocking agents which we have covered today. So from unit 2, if you see the syllabus, we have finished calcium channel blocking agents today, and we have finished anti-anginal agents yesterday. So should we have a class tomorrow or no? You all tell me. Yes, I have got only two answers. One is yes and one is no. Okay, so you have to tell me whether you want a class or no. Okay, you want a class, fine. Now, the linking topic to these two, that is calcium channel blocking agents and to anti-anginal agents, is in unit 3. So we will be jumping to unit 3. We will be needing to take antiarrhythmic drugs and not diuretics, as been prescribed in your syllabus. Okay, so we will be jumping to unit 3, where we will be having antiarrhythmic drugs, which we will be seeing in detail in the next class. Okay, if you have any questions, you all can ask, otherwise you all can leave. We have finished the class. We will meet tomorrow. I have already given you the link, and we will start with the next topic. Yes, thank you.